One of the reasons why a lot of people have not paid attention in working in their purpose and in their gifting is the fact that they don't believe that what they have is very important to their generation. And this can be, the lack of visibility of what they are doing. This can be, a sense of, not staying in the limelight while discharging their, gifting or that the Lord has placed in their heart. Before we dive deep, I just want to thank each and everyone, for following. And if you've not subscribed, I want you to subscribe to our channel so that you can help us grow. Thank you for following us, and we really, really appreciate your support. Now, let's dive into the video. You see, for some of us, we don't believe that our voice counts, and that is why we find it difficult to dispense that in which the Lord has, placed in our heart. You see, you must understand that that thing in which the Lord has given unto you is very much important to your generation. You must know that when you speak, your word carries power and influence. Until you could, internalize that thought, you would always find it difficult to speak to people. You would always find it difficult to stand before kings and not mere men. Because when you have this notion of what I am saying is not as important and what that person is saying, what will happen is that you would give up on yourself even before your greatness starts. You see, the Apostle Paul was giving us an example of how that every spiritual gift in the body of Christ is very, very important. And he was saying that the hand is not much more important than the eyes. Neither is the eyes much more important than the leg. Neither is the head much more important than, the stomach. And what he was trying to say is that no matter how small the organs of your body is, they are very much important, because when one have an issue, the whole body feels the pain. And that is how it is. You see, you might think that the gift of teaching is not as important as, the spirit of prophecy or the prophetic. But when you come to really understand that when you take out the gift of teaching, when you take out the gift of teaching, you would find out that there would be a lot of things that would not go well in the Christendom. And that's why you must understand that even though you are not a musician, even though you're not a preacher, that thing that the Lord has given unto you, it might be given. You might feel it is not important. You might feel it is not important, but I tell you that everything that the Lord has deposited into men are very much important, and that is why we have it here on earth. So you must learn to recognize that the Lord has given unto you and work on yourself. Dispense it, and you will see that you will grow from grace to grace. You see, what makes you go global is not the gifting you have, but it's how faithful you are in what God has given unto you. And that is why you would find out that someone who is just good in communication, when that person stays faithful with that person speaks to thousands and millions of people. And that is why when God has called you to be a musician, when you stay faithful to that, God brings you before thousands and millions of people for you to minister unto. So it's not much more about the gifting itself. What makes you go global and get noticed is how faithful you are in the little that the Lord has given unto you. So never you say that your gift is not as important as the apostle or the person who is always preaching and coming on the pulpit. No, don't say that. Why? Because that thing in which the Lord has given unto you is very much important. If the Lord has called you to be an intercessor, where you pray, where people don't get to see you, you might feel that thing is not important. But I bet you, if intercessors are not there, there will be a lot of things that will go wrong in the church and in the Christendom. So rather than saying my gift is not important, begin to actively fan those gifts into flame and work on them. Make it, make sure you stay faithful to it. And when you do, the Lord will begin to promote you. The Lord will begin to bring you before kings and not mere men. So if you find this video very helpful, I want you to share it to people whom you think really need to hear this.